Hello, this is my 6-week training program for my client Lily. During this 6-week program, Lily is looking to see improvements in her muscular endurance. She aims to see improvements in this area to help her with her netball, where she plays in a centre role which requires a lot of movement. This can help her to last longer during games and will hopefully make her play more effectively. This will be achieved during the 6 weeks training, where we will look to improve her endurance by increasing and progressing the intensity and duration during each week, which will hopefully create an improvement. I will also vary exercises throughout this 6 weeks, to make sure all the improvements and also prevent tedium of exercise, which can have an effect and lower her attitude and effort in all of the training sessions. I will seek to make sure that we match the correct intensity with the right durations to make sure my client is worked hard but is also able to compete every other session well and effectively. I need to consider things like the PARQ test and the max heart rate, and also the training zones that Lily needs to work in. The PARQ turns out to be irrelevant as my client isn't affected by any of the questions asked. Lily isn't affected by anything like previous operations or injuries. She doesn't have any heart conditions or any other medical problems or symptoms, neither does she have any family history of these conditions. So there should be no barriers in any types like these for exercise, and no problems that may be occurring during exercise. Lily's max heart rate is worked out by 120 minus her age. As Lily is 17, that will make her max heart rate 203. So I'll monitor that she reaches this to see the improvements when in training. To see muscular endurance improvements, I will need to work Lily at higher intensities and moderate durations. This can be achieved in specific training zones. The training zone would be around 70 to 80%. This would mean that in training I would need to get Lily's heart rate in between 164 and 177 beats per minute. This is to make sure that she is in the correct training zone. When creating Lily's 6-week program, I need to consider things like what Lily might want to achieve, her normal lifestyle, likes and dislikes, and her exercise history. Lily has stated that she's looking to improve in her muscular endurance, especially in her legs, as that's what she uses most when she plays netball. This means the training will be based to improve specifically the muscles within her legs. Lily isn't going to be affected much by likes and dislikes, as she isn't against any particular types of exercise. This makes it easier for me, as I can use several types of exercise to see improvements. It also means that I can vary exercises over the weeks to avoid tedium. A problem could possibly be her normal lifestyle, as she has commitments with college, netball, and as well as having a job. This will affect how many training sessions can be done a week and the duration of these sessions. These other commitments will have to be worked around. Lily does have a history of previous exercise, so this means that she won't be new to training, and it will mean it will be easier to go through the sessions because we won't have to start from the bottom, because Lily has the basic understanding of the proceedings and what's to come in the 6-week program. So before the 6-week program, I got Lily to do a 12-minute Cooper run to set a marker. The reason for this marker is to see if after 3 and 6 weeks, if under the program her muscular endurance is improving, and to see if she's able to run a longer distance. The 12-minute Cooper run is normally designed for cardiovascular fitness, but in this case it can be used to test my client's muscular endurance, because if her muscular endurance has increased, then she will be able to run for a longer distance. A warm-up will be performed before every session to help prepare my client for the exercise and to help avoid things like injuries, which could possibly affect her participation in the 6-week program. A warm-up normally contains static stretches, dynamic stretching, and game situation drills. Due to the fact it will be endurance training and working on the muscles, specifically the legs, the warm-up will be more on static stretching and dynamic as well. Lily specifically wants to improve muscular endurance in her legs for netball. This means exercise will be more intense in the legs. That means stretching will need to be concentrated more on her legs rather than her arms. So examples would be stretching out things like the hamstrings, quadriceps and calves, as well as Also, warming up her arms and shoulders for when she needs to pass the ball, for example, to her teammates within the game of netball. A cool down is also equally as important as the warm up because it prevents things like cramping and injuries. It also helps to speed up recovery and means that Lily will be more prepared for her next session or possibly her next training session for netball or even her game. The cool down will aim to relieve a build-up of lactic acid in her legs, in her leg muscles after the workout. This is because the type of exercise will result in this happening. So the cool down is important to help recover from each session. This table here is designed to show the schedule of my clients' weekly activities as well as the sessions that I have planned for them. As you can see, college takes up a large percentage of my clients' time, as Lily attends college 5 times a week and averages around 4 hours of work a day. This does not include other things like homework, so there must be time accounted for college and college work. This means sessions need to be planned around this. Another potential barrier from attending sessions is the fact that my client is committed to netball at least 2 times a week. This is very important to my client. It is the reason why she is training. This will affect hours that she can train and her fitness levels, as training and playing matches will affect her fitness and may lead to not being able to train on days after netball due to the need for recovery. So sessions will need to be planned around this as well. By looking at the days Lily's scheduled to have training and playing matches, it does not clash with the days that I've set for her to do session. A third thing that I need to plan around is the fact that my client does have a job, which means that she is committed to that on Monday, Saturday and Sunday. So therefore I've not planned any sessions on those days, and I have worked around all 3 of these possible barriers. With every session I aim to make them equal in both intensity and duration each week. This means that for the 3 sessions each week they will all be at the same intensity and duration. However, every week I will look to increase the duration and intensity of each exercise to make sure that there is an improvement for my client. I will also alter the exercise completed to avoid tedium. Each session is very important, and under each day I have shown the plan of what will happen in the session and for how long and why. Overall, each session will last for around 1 hour to 1 hour 30 minutes. This is so that there is enough time given to get through all the exercises planned and effectively, but as well as avoiding my client either getting too tired or bored of doing the exercise. Using SPORT, I can explain to my client what will happen during the sessions. The specificity of the sessions is that they aim to improve their cardiovascular endurance, so all exercise will be aimed at that. Even more specifically, the exercise will be aimed at muscular endurance in the legs as Lily plays netball. The progression part will come each week, as every week my client's exercise intensity and duration will increase to see progression and improvement. The overall part is less needed with the training, as it's working on endurance. However, it may be used in specific exercises to build a bit of muscular strength. The reversibility will not be a factor, as my client is in no risk of injury or fatigue with the training program. Tedium will also be dealt with, as there will be different exercises provided to make sure she doesn't become bored and demotivated, therefore putting in less effort into each session. Each session is very important, as it gives Lily a chance to improve on her muscular endurance, which is what she's aiming to do. As you can see, there is no session planned for Monday. This is because of a combination of college work, netball training, and then that's followed by work. College on a Monday is a long day for Lily, so this takes up more time in her day. And also more time is taken up by netball training, and then after that is followed by work. So this means that she does not have enough time for a training session. Also, I personally felt as though the training at her netball session would be a sufficient amount of exercise during the day, and this will also cause fatigue, so therefore she might not have enough energy to proceed in a session. On Tuesday, a session is planned, as there is enough time to be able to complete a session even with her college work. This is because it is a shorter day at college, so there is time for Lily to go to college and also complete effective session. This means that the session will happen after college, so even though she has other commitments, she will be able to do a session, which will include an entire warm up and 4 different exercises, then followed by a cool down. So the session on the Tuesday will be 4 diverse types of exercises and will target different muscle groups within the body. My client will begin with a 7-minute jog to warm up her muscles and get the blood pumping around her body, followed by her first exercise, which will be calf raises. Calf raises are important for improving the muscular endurance of my client's legs. To do this, you need to stand with your feet shoulder width apart and with your arms at your sides. In a controlled fashion, lift onto your tiptoes by contracting your calf muscles. Once you do this, hold for a second, lower yourself, and then repeat between 15 and 25 times. The next exercise for my client will be squat throws. Squat throws are done with a medicine ball, and they create upper body and lower body muscular endurance simultaneously. Stand with your feet shoulder width apart and hold the ball in front of your chest firmly. Slowly lower yourself down into a squat, then jump as high as you can and throw the ball up into the air. Once the ball lands, pick it up, reposition yourself, and repeat 10 to 15 times. The third exercise will be standard squats. These will be working the quads, but the endurance work will be done with a lot of reps and less weight. Lily should do around 6 kilograms with about 20 reps for about 5 sets, possibly 4 if she's feeling particularly fatigued, whilst making sure that there is a suitable rest period in between each set. The final exercise for Lily will be box jumps. These are designed to work the whole lower body. This will work the endurance with higher reps, like 15 reps for about 3 sets. This gives my client a full lower body workout. Every week I will increase the fit. Lily will have the reps and weight increased on each exercise every week to see progression in her muscular endurance. Wednesday, much like Monday, there was no session planned because Lily has a very busy schedule this day with both college and netball. This means that Lily will not have the time to participate in an effective session, as the time will be filled with both the college work and her netball training. Also, like before, training, having a session today will be drastically less effective and almost pointless, as Lily will be too fatigued from the netball training to perform an effective workout. She'll be also getting the benefit of running around at her netball training session. This will also help to improve her muscular endurance. On Thursday there will be a session planned because I aim for her to undergo at least 3 exercise sessions a week. Thursday will be an acceptable day for a training session because the only other commitment she has on this day is college work, which tells me that she finishes in the early afternoon. Therefore, this leaves time for a late afternoon or early evening training session. This session will look to be more anaerobic exercise to seek muscular improvements. As always, the session will start with a warm-up. I will plan an exercise based on circuit training to get her leg muscles working. This will be working at a high intensity and low frequency with long breaks in between. This can improve each week by trying to beat her time before, switching up the circuit or adding even more circuits to the exercise. I will also plan a Cooper run for my client, as this will work on endurance. Each week I can improve by trying to beat the numbers of laps. Each week my client can improve by trying to beat the number of laps that she reaches each time. This will be a very intense session, so the cool down will be very important for my client. On Friday, there is another session planned, as there will be enough time for her to complete a full session even with her college work. This is because it is a shorter day at college and there is time for Lily to undergo college and complete an effective session. This means the session will happen after college, so even though she has other commitments, she can still do another session. This session will probably look to have more sets and a slight increase in intensity. This may be running an extra minute or lifting an extra weight or increasing the training zone from 80